removing the stopper and keeping it safe, and then take your reel of thread and pop it on the pin at the top and place the stopper back on to keep it in place, like that. Then you need to take your thread and pass it underneath the thread guide on the top of the machine, the plastic thread guide, so it just helps turn your thread to a right angle. And then follow the thread down the channel on the front of the machine, round the bottom in the direction of the arrow, and back up. Now at this point you need to make sure that your take-up lever, which is this little metal lever in here, is showing. If it's quite low down, which it currently is, you need to raise it by turning the hand wheel on the right hand side of the machine, and you turn it towards you. So as you turn the hand wheel, the needle goes down and the take-up lever should reappear. Once you've got your take-up lever back into position, you need to pass your thread around the back of the take-up lever and pull it so that it slots into the hole at the front of the take-up lever there. So on your instructions it will tell you to make sure that the thread is through the loop at the front of your take-up lever, which it currently is. You then pass your thread back down that same channel, and it now needs to go underneath 2 thread guides which just hold it in place. So there is one thread guide here, a little metal bar that I'm sliding the thread under, and another thread guide at the top of the needle there that's another metal bar, and they just hold the thread in place and closer to the needle. Then the final stage for the top thread is to thread the needle, so put the thread through the hole in the end of the needle. A little tip is to cut the end of the thread so that it's not fraying and nice and clean, and to hold the thread really close to the end so that it can be guided easily through the hole, and the rest is just perseverance. Once you've threaded the needle, you need to just take the thread and slide it underneath the presser foot by passing it through that gap, and then leave it hanging out the back of the machine. The next step is the bobbin. So you need to take the bobbin cover off by sliding the little black button to the right of the bobbin cover, and it will unclick, and just keep that safe to one side. The bobbin must be put in a certain way. We say P for perfect. So we have the strand of the P down the left and have the bobbin in a P shape as opposed to a Q shape. So when you're looking at the machine, make sure your bobbin's in a P for perfect, and then just drop it into the bobbin holder. You then need to make sure that your bobbin thread comes out of the first little gap in the metal of the bobbin holder, so out of this gap, and then just around the outside to the back of the machine. So it should just be a case of dragging it round, and it should go in all the right places. So it's now in the correct position and it's pointing in the same direction as this little arrow out the back of the machine. The next step is we need to get the bobbin to come up in that little hole underneath the presser foot there, and this is how we do that. You need to take the thread from the needle, that's the orange thread in this case, and hold it loosely in your left hand. Then with your right hand you need to turn the hand wheel. Again, it must be turned towards you, only ever towards you, and you keep turning it until the needle goes down and the take-up lever reappears. And what should happen, and what has happened, is the needle has gone down, hooked up the bobbin thread and pulled it up. So what you're aiming for is to have a little loop of the bobbin thread just underneath the presser foot, which we've got a little pink loop. Then you need to access that loop, and an easy way to do it is to use the small shears to swipe the loop out. So you're not cutting it, you're just going to grab the shears, still holding the thread from the needle, and you're going to swipe just to release that bobbin thread, so that now it's not coming out from here at all, it's only coming out from the hole underneath the presser foot. And then you can replace the bobbin cover and your machine is threaded.